What's going on, everybody? So in this video, we are going to be talking about the Parallax reveal, which just happened last night. We're going to talk about the art, how people received it, as well as revealing who the actual artist is. We're also going to be covering some breaking news when it comes to NFT projects and Minecraft and how that's triggering a fire sale, as well as some updates on some of our favorite projects and some new projects. So let's go ahead and dive in. Like I said before, the first thing that we are going to cover is going to be the Parallax Genesis collection, which actually just revealed last night. So yesterday, everybody got their art, and so far it seems like the reception has been pretty positive. So I'm going to go ahead and go on Twitter to see what people are saying as they post their NFTs. And I'm just like, I just randomly picked some people on Twitter. You know, I saw them, tag me and stuff like that. They're like, not a bad poll. Yeah, this one's pretty sick with the water elements. We got Leaky over here from Singapore. He got all the white on white on white. Pretty nice. Impala from Few. He got the dreads with the blue. Okay, looking pretty good. Seems like everyone's digging it so far. Gary from Boom Esports. Yeah, he got a pretty nice one as well with the little popsicle. JW with the lightning. Nice. GK actually got the Killua one. So I actually made this one in a way where, I try to make it look like Killua from Hunter x Hunter. So it's pretty lucky that he actually got this one because it looks pretty sick. Dexter over here, he got the red hat with the red racer jacket with the lightning as well. So pretty good. For the most part, everyone's pretty happy with what they got when it comes to this NFT project. And what I really tried to do for this project when it comes to their distribution and the art is that when you buy a project and you get something that's on the floor or something in the middle, a lot of times you don't really like it, right? You like the project, you like the founders, but you're like, I just got what I got. I don't really want to show it off. So what I tried to do, right? And again, tried my best to do is try to make all of them, as great as possible because it's a smaller collection. So if you kind of scroll down, you see like what's on the floor, you see some like good traits on the floor, right? You see the ones with the little crown over here, with the bubble gum and stuff like that. So in a way, it's more accessible where everybody can get something that they can actually really like. And some people, they like to look at like Rarity Sniper and things like that. My recommendation, if you're looking to buy a Parallax Genesis, is probably don't really look at these rarity things because I feel like they don't really calculate it that well. I didn't create the rarity and like give it to them. They just like are polling based on their algorithm and based on like what traits are, common and which ones are not common. But my personal take is you want to just go for the one that really fits you aesthetically because that's really what I try to do. And I try to spread out the rarities and the cool traits more evenly so more people can get something that they really love, especially for just such a small collection, right? That's something I felt that was very important. All right, so now when it comes to who is the actual artist, right? A lot of people have been asking, Patrick, who's the artist? And I've been kind of holding off on it until after the reveal because I wanted to show everybody, what the product was and then reveal the artist after so that you can judge the art based on the art itself. So now we're going to reveal the artist and it's actually going to be this Japanese artist based in Japan. His name is Coco Blue 23 on Twitter. So go ahead and give him a follow if you enjoyed the Parallax art. To give you a backstory of how the Parallax art came to be, I was pretty much looking for a Japanese artist from actually Japan because I wanted a more authentic Japanese style, which was very different at the time. So when I started this project, it was actually 4 months ago when I was looking for an artist. And back then, there wasn't really like that many Japanese artists making NFTs for the Western market. So I was looking for artists in Japan. And then I was going on different commission websites like, this is one called Pixiv. And I already saw that, he was already doing commissions for a lot of different people, right? And I also saw that, he has done a couple, one-of-one NFTs for other projects and things like that. And I also saw that he was selling some of his NFTs as, like art on different, NFT Japanese websites, right? So I was like, okay, so he's a pretty good artist. He already kind of understands NFTs. At that time, it was really just like 4 months ago. Not a lot of Japanese artists really want to touch NFTs because they weren't sure if it was legit, if it's a scammy, it's kind of things like that. Now it's very different than what it was 4 months ago. So when I was looking at his Twitter and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. Like if you see some of his work, his proportions are pretty good. The way he does the eyes has a certain look. It's a very Japanese look. What I also like about his art is that he's pretty good at when it comes to painting. So if you notice for the Parallax NFT, there are some anime collections where the colors are just flat. You can just go on like different projects and you'll see. But then when you look at the Parallax, for example, you can kind of see all the different traits are painted. The way the hair is done, it's like painted on. The way the fabric sits on the body is like a very painted style, which is actually time intensive to do because it's like you literally have to do it by hand. Let's say if you're even looking at this black kimono over here, it's like you can see how the light bounces off, this part over here, and it's like different shades. This is light over here, light shining down here. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty difficult to do. It takes a lot of work and there's a lot of detail that goes into it. So I was like, yeah, dude, this guy definitely can make the vision that I have come to life. And so I emailed him. He's like, he's thinking about it. I don't know if I should do an NFT project. And then he was just like, okay, let's do it. And so basically I've worked with him for the last 3-4 months, going back and forth on the art and things like that. So how it worked was like, I was basically the creative director of like deciding how it should look, how it should feel, what traits we go on, what colors we use. And then he would just like use those directions and then like illustrate it, put it together. And then that's how we collaborated on this project to make something cool. So if you are interested in working with Coco Blue, now that he has more time after he finished the Parallax NFT, if you like his work, go ahead ahead and check him out on Twitter. If you want to communicate with him, he only speaks Japanese, but you can translate using DeepL is what I recommend. It's a better version of Google Translate. And then you can just, type in English, convert to Japanese, copy and paste both, and then he'll do the same thing back. And if you're working online, then it's almost as if you spoke the same language. So that's a pretty good tip for you guys if you are working with Japanese artists. So shout out to Coco Blue. You did an excellent work on the project, and give him a follow if you love his stuff. And if you want to commission him or have him do different work for your project, just send him an email and then he will respond. Now, moving into some drama, Minecraft recently had some big news where they said that they are not going to allow NFTs and blockchain technologies to be used within the Minecraft client and Minecraft servers, right? So I think there are other people who have done this and they're making money on it, and then they're like, well, why are they making so much money on it? We don't want to be associated with NFTs and blockchain, and so they shut it down, which is huge because there are a lot of NFT projects that they built their entire narrative around, oh, we're going to use the Minecraft ecosystem and then we're going to build NFTs on top of it. And if you didn't know, running a Minecraft server, like a private one, makes a lot of money. You can make millions of dollars running these private servers where people buy cosmetics without NFTs. And so people want to just take that concept and just add NFTs to it. And for a long time, that was a pretty popular narrative, right? Because if you look at projects like NFT World, I remember when they were at like 15 ETH, right? I always questioned it. I was like, well, they're just building on top of Minecraft. Like, why is it so special, right? So now it dropped to 1 ETH. As you can see yesterday, the volume went crazy, the most they ever had pretty much probably in their lifetime. And everyone is just like panic selling because they're like, well, why am I holding this thing if Minecraft's not going to allow them to build on top? Why are people buying it at 1 ETH? I'm not necessarily sure. Maybe NFT Worlds has a different plan. Maybe they're going to go in a different direction. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise where they're going to build their own platform. I don't know. But some people do still believe in it. Maybe they think it's a good discount. But in my personal opinion, it is kind of risky. And I think there are better plays than to purchase NFT Worlds at this time. In other news, I just want to show you like CloneX. Obviously, CloneX dropped their 3D files and everyone's like learning Blender all of a sudden, and they're trying to do different stuff, and people who are already experienced are just taking their skills and putting their CloneX in there. And like there's this one little thing that I saw where somebody rigged this model. It's like a girl fighting a robot, and it's actually pretty good. It's probably one of the best CloneX like community made teasers or like videos that I've seen so far. And so this is just the beginning, right? Like this literally just came out like a week or two ago where people can use the 3D files. And I think once people see the power of this and they're like, yo, like I want to use my CloneX characters in my XYZ, then we're probably going to see a lot more of that. And we're also probably going to see a lot more people creating these 3D rigged files where they allow other people to use it, because it's like, it takes one person to knock the door down. And once everybody sees like, oh, that's a great way for the community to get involved, then everyone's going to like copy it, right? And so I definitely see a future where these certain projects are really good when it comes to like 3D, allow their creators to create on top of their platform and get more exposure, right? Like if they took this artist and they weren't using a CloneX and they're just using a random 3D model, it wouldn't get that many views. But because it's a CloneX, I'm talking about it on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure other people are going to talk about it as well. And that is leverage, right? And that is like free marketing in a sense. And so it's like, why not build on top of the CloneX ecosystem, or why not build on top of whatever ecosystem that helps you create a platform? And so those are the things I'm looking for when it comes to like a blue chip project or a long-term project. Dude, there's so many people on my Twitter timeline that want to learn Blender all of a sudden, right? They're like maybe like a lawyer, or they're a doctor, or this. They're just like, oh my God, like I got to learn Blender so I can learn how to rig my 3D clone. So pretty cool. That inspires other people. I really respect that. It's hard to do, and they're pulling it off. All right. In other news, we have Moonbirds Oddities just revealed. And as you can see here, this is what the NFT looks like. It definitely is not for everybody. That's definitely for sure. So if we look at the volume for Moonbirds Oddities, obviously there's a ton of volume after the reveal, which typically happens. It seems like the floor price dropped quite a bit because a lot of people sold. That's how it goes, right? Like a lot of times people hold it and then they want to sell during the reveal, and then it dips and people buy. That's the game, right? There's only a few projects where the floor actually increases after the art. For this kind of art, I think people are a little surprised because, when you look at Moonbirds, for example, it's like very cute, very palatable. Boys and girls can like it. It's like, you get it. It's like a cute owl. Cool. But then these things are like, obviously it's with the artist Gremplin, right? So he has a specific style, right? For I think a lot of people, it's not super attractive. It is kind of cool, right? In its own unique flavor. But I would say, in my personal opinion, it's more cool because it's part of proof. Like if this was a standalone project, would it be as strong? I think it would be okay. Or maybe like the Gremplin brand can carry it. But then if, let's say, you didn't know the artist and you didn't know that this was part of proof, I think a lot of people wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? It's amazing because of so many other factors that create perceived value. So, overall, I think it's all right, personally, but I'm sure other people will love it. But yeah, I still need to do a little more research and watch some interviews with Kevin Rose and the team to learn more about what they're going to do with Oddities. But I just want to bring it up that it did review. So if you want to check it out, check out their Twitter and learn more about it. Now, one new project that I want to put on your radar is going to be HTMKERs. So HTMKERs is basically another anime project, and they're kind of going for that more music kind of vibe. So I'm sure that they're going to integrate music and NFTs somehow together. And it seems like they want to develop artists. So maybe it's going to be like an agency or platform that helps in enable artists to like get their name out there. I'm not necessarily sure exactly how it goes. So, you know, there's not too much information about it. They're still getting the things going. But if you want to follow them and maybe be early, you know, check out HTMKER. And just one last reminder that on July 25th, we're doing a meetup in Singapore at Meta Jam Asia, which is going to be a gallery. So now that we all have our NFTs, we're going to put our NFTs on the gallery and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. So if you're in Singapore, you want to check it out, feel free to come. It's free to all, you know, whether you have NFT, whether you're a holder or not a holder, it's totally fine. It's open to the public as well as holders. So it's gonna be a good time and I will see you there. So with that said, that is everything that we have to cover for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also let me know in the comments what you think about the Parallax NFT art. Really curious to see your opinions on it, and I will catch you in the next one.